Tonight, a Newcastle family's heartbreaking tribute to a father who died saving his children at a mid-north coast beach.
He saved me and Liam. Yeah, he's my hero.
Sanaya Sahib's mother excused from facing court amid concerns over her mental health.
And looking for alien life, Stephen Hawking's realistic plan to send a spacecraft to another star.
This is NBN News with Natasha Beyersdorf and Paddy Kilmurray.
Good evening. A devastated teenager has described his father as a hero after the 53-year-old died saving his two sons from a powerful rip. Members of the Newcastle family were enjoying a school holiday break near Foster when they got into a trouble and at an unpatrolled beach.
Jake Benet, his two brothers and mother Marianne are a family in mourning, still struggling with the loss of their father and husband.
The state government today told Newcastle bus and ferry workers they won't lose their jobs despite plans to privatise the city's public transport network. But unions representing the employees say there are still plenty of unanswered questions.
Single file out of the Hamilton bus interchange, public transport workers still unsure what the future holds.
Keep public transport.
Punters will be treated to performances from the likes of Flume, James Blake, The Cure and The Strokes at this year's Splendour in the Grass Music Festival. They've been named among the 100-strong lineup of local and international acts unveiled by organisers online. Tickets go on sale next week.
Still to come, shooting for the stars. What could be the most ambitious space project ever? The father of a 14-month-old girl allegedly murdered and dumped in a Melbourne creek by her mother has spoken of his heartbreak. Sanaya Sahib's mother was excused from facing court today amid serious concerns about her mental health.
In what could be the most ambitious space mission of all time, physicist Stephen Hawking has announced plans to send tiny spacecraft to another star system. The probes will be the size of postage stamps and be beamed more than 4 light years across space to hunt for alien life.
Professor Stephen Hawking is a man with so many questions on his mind. At the forefront, could we reach the stars and is there alien life?
Ahead in the news tonight, how Botox is helping those forced to cope with crippling pain.
And the arrest that's been called into question. It began as an argument over a taxi fare that led to 4 arrests and accusations of police brutality. Dramatic video footage of a Sydney arrest was played during a court hearing today as the young woman shown being apprehended defended allegations against her.
It was the video that went viral. Claire Helen, thrown to the ground, struck again and then again.
To finance, and the share market has posted its best daily gains in 6 weeks, driven by strength in the banking and mining sectors. There was some much needed relief for Commonwealth shareholders, with stocks rising $1.51. Rio Tinto gained just over $2, while rival BHP Billiton climbed $1.02. Fortescue Metals shares also closed higher. In commodities, both oil and gold are trading higher, while the Aussie dollar is buying 76.58 US cents and 67 euro cents. Now to Gavin Morris for a quick look at our weather. And Gav, some heavy coastal downpours today.
Yes, there certainly were. During the early hours of the morning, Lake Ainsworth, 80 millimetres. We had 70 at Evans Head and Minniewater, 60 millimetres at Cape Byron and Coffs. The area of instability has moved offshore. The showers still streaming through at times during today as far south as Newcastle. All of that activity is going to dry up throughout tomorrow for a fine couple of days before the next southerly comes through, which will be on Sunday. A closer look at all of your local details in around 20 or so.
OK, thanks, Gav. Coming up, the frightening moment, a massive hailstorm battered homes and cars.
And the Zoo New Year party that turned out to be a double celebration. Huge hailstorms have battered parts of northern Texas, damaging cars and homes. Softball-sized ice crashed through windows, forcing families to take cover. One woman was killed after losing control of her car as she drove through the wild weather. The storm saw schools across the region shut due to damaged buildings and fears another powerful storm was about to strike.
The first photo has emerged of Paris terrorist suspect Salah Abdelassam inside a Belgian prison. Guards say he's been a model inmate while waiting to be extradited to France. It came as two more people were charged over the attacks in Belgium.
This is the moment a large sinkhole suddenly opens on a street in California. The road collapsed over a sewerage line. The hole is thought to be about 6 metres deep. Police believe it was triggered by recent rain.
Liza Minnelli's ex-husband, music producer David Guest, has been found dead in a London hotel room. The 62-year-old was married to Miss Minnelli for a year in 2002 after the pair was introduced by Michael Jackson. He produced the King of the Pop's 30th anniversary television show, the highest-rating musical special of all time.
Now over to sport with Mitch Hughes.
And Mitch, there's plenty of soul-searching in Tiger Town.
Yeah, they haven't won in a while and they're pretty desperate for answers. Thanks, team. Coming up, the NRL side's young halves in the spotlight as it looks to break its losing streak. And the Socceroos find out who stands between them and the 2018 World Cup. The Tigers won't say they're in crisis, but they're certainly desperate for a win against the Storm at Leichhardt Oval on Sunday. And the pressure is mounting on their young halves, Luke Brooks and Mitchell Moses. Both are off contract and have plenty to prove.
Jason is talking to Robbie, so it's not all bad in Tiger Town. But after 4 losses in a row, the young halves are starting to wear the blame for their stuttering performances.
Team, that's our look at sport.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thanks, Mitch. Next, Gav's in with all the weather.
Time now to take a look at the weather, and Gav, a bit of rain about today on the coast at least.
Yes, that's right. Those showers heavy at times sweeping in across the coastal suburbs. Not much of it making it throughout the upper Hunter. And a couple of little heavy downpours there move through, all contracting north. First of all, though, looks like someone has scribbled in a lightning bolt on this shot taken by Nick Wall. This is off his back deck at Lennox Head. The threat of storms throughout that part of the coast is going to ease over the next few days, but it tumbled down early this morning. 80 millimetres fell at Lake Ainsworth, 70 at Minnewater, Evans Head, Coffs and Cape Byron received 60 millimetres, and there was a spectacular light show. All of those numbers there reflected there in the 24-hour rainfall. It's been tumbling down in the west as well as the cloud still streams in, but central eastern Australia is fine, clear, sunny, and still very much on the dry side. The showers there streaming in our way, moving northward though towards Seals during this afternoon. Now the shower activity is going to back off for us. We may have another little burst there overnight and throughout the early hours of tomorrow morning, but this ridge of high there is just bulging out, and that's going to make for a predominantly fine afternoon period like today, and then we'll see a fine run leading up to the next southerly, which will arrive overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. All fine at this point across southern Australia. For Sydney, a few clearing showers. For Brisbane, showers on the way. It is going to be a little bit overcast there for the Allison, fine and dry across the northern tropics. On the radar, there's that wet weather still pushing in to the north of Port Stephens, up around Hawke's Nest. So you can see a little bit of wet weather still pushing on through. Otherwise, elsewhere, dry as we move into this evening. Topped out in the low to mid-20s. Scone top the list there with 27 throughout today. Much cooler conditions. Autumn-like temperatures have settled in. The humidity up because of those southeasterly winds that have been very consistent. They'll be there first thing tomorrow before shifting around to the east-northeast. So back to that northerly quadrant throughout tomorrow. When we get the northerlies kick in, that usually means cloud cover breaks up, and so too the showers. So they'll be gone, and then we'll see a little bit of warmth return as well as we move towards the end of the week and to kick-start the up-and-coming weekend. So the risk of a shower is there first thing in the morning for the coast, and then we should warm into the mid-20s, a little bit warmer throughout tomorrow as the winds want to move around to the northeast. Throughout the inland areas, the chance of showers very small to non-existent throughout the upper Hunter, where it's still very dry, and we'd love some rain now throughout the valley. Temperatures up around 27, 28 degrees. degrees across the board throughout that part of the valley. There's those winds bending right around. No warning. Season swell at 1 metre for tomorrow. Low tide at about 8:37 tomorrow morning. Working to the high just before 3 p.m, about 10 to 3. Sun's up 6:13 down to 5:33, and a lovely crescent moon, which is getting bigger and bigger for the up and coming weekend, which is going to get off to a fantastic start. Friday, Saturday, superb. Just be warned. Southerly comes through. It's going to be an early one. Sunday morning, it'll drag in showers there, and we've got a little bit of wet weather that's going to push up the valley as well. Finally, a little bit of inland rain is on the way for the early part of next week. So if you love your fine, mild conditions with the sun out, make the most of the next couple of days. Surfers, the winds all over the shop today. It blew in just about every single direction as the showers moved through this morning. We had some westerlies there for a while. Then it kicked in around to the southeast during the afternoon. So a little bit of sloppy swell on the way tomorrow. It's not going to be fantastic, and then we'll have those onshore winds bending around to the northeast in the afternoon. For daily weather updates, all you have to do is like our Facebook page. So fining up over the next couple of days, but looks like a little bit of wet weather on the way early next week, and for many they'll be happy to see that.
Okay.
So,
thanks, Gav.
That is our bulletin for this Wednesday.
We'll have updates throughout the evening, and the Today Show has the latest headlines from 5:30 tomorrow morning.
From all of us here for now,
good night.